Welcome, Trailblazer fans, inside the MCLA TV studio. I'm your host, Jeff Polari, Assistant Athletic Director, here on the verge of the MCLA Women's Lacrosse season with head coach Maria Bartini. Coach, how are we doing today?
I'm good, thanks.
Excellent. Thank you for being here with us.
Sure.
So just a quick recap of last season, 2016, our second year of varsity competition. Just talk a little bit about where we were last year and where we hope to be in 2017.
Yeah, I think there was some important learning that happened last season. A lot of it about kind of team dynamics and building team culture and getting that consistent work ethic day in, day out. And we definitely grew as a team on the field in terms of strategy and skill. So we're looking to kind of build on that. We've definitely spent a lot of time in the fall and in the off season and the preseason in building a really solid team culture of positivity, support, hard work, 100% commitment, and the team's really coming together around that.
Awesome, good stuff. And one of the challenges with all the spring programs, obviously around weather, opening up inside the gym. The weather's somewhat cooperated here in the last couple of weeks, been able to get outside. Just talk a little bit about the differences and the challenges of starting off indoors and then just the hope of getting outdoors prior to your first day of competition.
Yeah, well, one of the things that we tried to do this year was there's a new kind of ball that was available. It's actually a goalie training ball, but it works really well for everyone else to use, so it doesn't bounce as much in the gym, because a regular lacrosse ball does not like being on a gym floor. It bounces all over the place. It's like a silly bouncy ball. So that, I think, really helped with our productivity. In the gym, we spent a lot less time chasing balls and a lot more time with getting touches. So that was one thing that helped with being indoors. But the facilities crew getting out there, working really hard to get the turf cleared for us, and it's beautiful out there right now. So major hat tip to our staff for getting that done.
Awesome. And it's great again that we get to get outside and get some practices in. The season opener this Saturday down at Bard. What are some things that you're looking for first time against varsity competition?
I think that we're just looking to, again, work really hard, get everybody on the same page, have all 12 players working as a single unit, and just seeing what we can put together out there. Bard is going to be some tough competition. They had a young squad last year, and they're pretty much all returning. Their top scorers are young and solid players. So it'll be a good test for us to see. I think we've really been on a really steady improvement all season long. We're not even close to hitting a plateau. So it'll be really exciting to see what we can put together on Saturday, because it'll give us a good sense of how much more improvement we can expect to see.
Right. And it's nice to see the season's going to be able to be drawn out a little bit, starting a little bit earlier in March and carrying on. But looking a little deeper at the schedule, a little bit unbalanced, 5 home games, I believe 8 or 9 on the road. Just talk about the differences of being able to play at Shoecraft Field and then having to, if we're going to be successful this season, we're going to have to play pretty well on the road.
I think that some of our away games are, yes, they're away, but they're within an hour drive or even less. So, it wasn't my first choice, but sometimes you have to kind of make concessions and things happen that way. So I don't think that all those road games are going to be too much of a drain on us, given the proximity of some of those away matches. So not too concerned about us having more away than home matches. It's always nice to play on your home field in front of the home crowd, but with some of those games, away games being at Sage and Albany and up at SVC, it's pretty close that hopefully a lot of our home fans will just make the short trip. Great.
No surprise, preseason poll just released from the MASCAC. We're still a very young program entering our 3rd season. Do you use the preseason poll as motivation to your student athletes at this point?
I haven't really talked to them about it yet, and I don't put too much stock in that. But if I do chat with them about it, the way I think about it is I'd rather be underestimated going into it, and I do think that there is a vibe on the team of we think we're going to surprise some folks this season, and I think quite a few of my players are really looking forward to that. So I think they do see it as some fuel to the fire, and it motivates some of them for sure. But I don't really emphasize it.
this season's team, looking on paper, you got a bunch of your leading scorers return, graduated a bunch of the defense folks. Talk a little bit about what some of your expectations are. What type of team are we looking for in 2017? More offensive-minded, more defensive-minded,
Right.
from your perspective?
Well, I think we're just looking to be more balanced across the board. We've brought in a lot of talent this year, so I think we'll be able to be pretty balanced on attack. Because ideally you want 7 scoring threats out there on the attack, and I think that we're going to be able to do that this year. I also think that the defense, the key is that you have 7 defenders who are working well as a unit. So it doesn't necessarily matter as much about individuals on there. It's how well those 7 people function together. And so that's really been our emphasis and our preparation, is making sure we have really solid team defense where everyone's on the same page and working together.
Right. And just to kind of build off of some of those things, some of the important things that we need to do to be a little bit more competitive in conference play, and even out of conference. What are maybe 2 or 3 things that you're looking for that we really have to take a step forward to make those come to fruition?
Well, a few of the things that we've really been emphasizing is hustling for ground balls. We want to win. We want to win the ground ball stat in every single game. We've been really emphasizing that in our practices, and we've seen a really nice improvement. In that sense, we're also really going to need to do a much better job on clears. Our clear percentage, our successful clear percentage, was not very solid last year, and so that made it hard for our defense to get much rest, because they would make a great stop and then we wouldn't be able to get the ball up, and they would have to defend right away again. So working on transition, I think that is also another piece. And then finally, just being patient on attack. Trusting our plays, trusting our sets to create a good scoring opportunity rather than trying to force something in. So I think if we're successful on all 3 of those fronts, of being competitive on those 50-50 balls and winning a lot of those 50-50 balls, good transition, and patience on attack, that the results will come.
Excellent, excellent. And obviously, like I said, we opened with Bard this weekend, and then a quick look ahead to next Friday's home opener at Shoecraft Field, right before spring break, which is the earliest game that we've played at home. What are some things that you're hoping to improve upon, maybe from just week 1 to week 2 with the opener at Bard going into the home opener?
Well, I'll probably be able to answer that question a little better after we play Bard to see what our weaknesses are, and what our strengths were. So probably we'll just be looking to build on the strengths that we demonstrate against Bard, and our focus during practice in that intervening week will really be on what some of those weaknesses were and what we can do to improve. But I always really emphasize team play and everyone communicating well and supporting each other. A team is only as strong as its weakest link, so we've got to pull everybody up there and need all 12 cylinders firing together. So.
Well, I'm looking forward to a very fast-paced, interesting lacrosse season, and wish you guys the best of luck as you open up this Friday at Bard, and then next weekend at home. And Trailblazer fans, for everything MCLA lacrosse or MCLA athletics, please log on to our social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, or log on to MCLA Athletics on the website. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.